In this video, I'll be reviewing the art book that's based on the conceptual art from a movie that contains all of your favorite mythical childhood characters. Except for Santa Claus. He's real. Hey guys, Craig here, back for another installment of Art Book Review. And this month's book review is going to be based on the art of Rise of the Guardians. So let's check it out. I decided to review this particular art book at this time because I've always seen this movie as a Christmas movie. Even though it has mythological characters that originate outside of the Christmas season, the movie still comes across as a Christmas movie to me. One of the things that you'll notice when looking at many of the rough drawings is that they seem to have a very dark feel to them. If you were looking at nothing but the sketches in this book, you probably wouldn't even realize that this was a kid's movie. One of the really cool things about this art book is seeing how all of these different concept artists interpret what are very familiar and popular childhood characters. The way these characters are drawn is not the typical depiction that we're used to seeing over the past 50 or 60 years in the mainstream media. There's a much more raw and unpolished feel to them. Another thing that I really like about this movie is the direction they chose to go in when it came to recreating the North Pole. Gone is that westernized candy canes and gingerbread appearance that we've been sold for so many generations, only to be replaced by a far more dark and foreboding environment that resembles Thunderdome or Zion from The Matrix more than it does Santa's Village. And Santa definitely got an upgrade on his equipment in this movie, that's for sure. From his souped-up racing sleigh to his state-of-the-art IT surveillance system, he comes across more like Big Brother than he does Santa Claus. When it comes to the Easter Bunny, this is definitely not the Cadbury cream egg version. This Easter Bunny looks more like a cross between a Minotaur and a kangaroo. The color palettes that are used in many of the rendered Easter paintings are incredible. I love the way the artwork in the book jumps through different moods. The lighting alone for this movie had to be one hell of an undertaking. The conceptual artists that worked on this movie really had to rely heavily on their imaginations. I mean, when you think about it, with the exception of the Santa Claus character and the North Pole, there really isn't any backstory for any of the other characters as to where they lived. For characters like the Sandman, Jack Frost, and the Tooth Fairy, we were only told as kids of who they were and what they did, but never where they came from. A lot of the finished artwork in this book has a very heavy Polynesian influence to it, with a little bit of Asian thrown in there as well, which is kind of odd considering that most of these childhood mythological characters originated in Europe. The pop-out section of this book is a really cool feature, especially for those who don't really know what's involved with animating a motion picture. This fold-out shows you all of the different departments that are utilized in creating just one sequence of the movie. It's pretty impressive, and you quickly realize why these movies cost so much to make. I love the character Sandy in this movie. He's presented as being so kind, quiet, and reserved, and yet when it comes time to go toe-to-toe with Pitch, he just turns into this total badass. That fight scene between Pitch and the Guardians is epic. Definitely one of my favorite scenes in any animated movie. Just the level of detail they managed to achieve considering how fast the action was moving in that scene is incredible. Even though I knew the movie was created by DreamWorks, every time I watched a scene with Pitch in it, I couldn't help but think to myself, was Tim Burton involved with this movie? The contrast between Pitch and every other character really makes this movie pop visually. I think the whole concept of bringing all of these characters together in one movie is genius. I also like how they gave Jack Frost sort of a troubled backstory. The good characters in this movie have always been sold to us as being happy and cheerful throughout the years. Putting that dark spin on Jack's past really takes the movie to another level. But you gotta wonder, considering that Rise of the Guardians and the Avengers both came out in 2012, and that both movies took years to make, did DreamWorks have a little insider knowledge as to the wave of superhero team-up movies that Marvel was about to make, or was it just a case of great minds thinking alike? I guess we'll never know. Either way, the Rise of the Guardians art book is a must for any art book collection. Well, there you have it, folks. Another incredible art book based on the conceptual art of the movie Rise of the Guardians. If you'd like to add this book to your own personal library, I have an affiliate link to it in the description below. And if you choose to use my affiliate link to purchase this book, not only do you get this incredible art book, but you also, at no extra cost to you, help to support this channel, which allows me to continue making this type of free content for you. So for that, I thank you. Also, be sure and let me know in the comment section below who you think would win in a street fight, Jack Frost or the Easter Bunny. I'm curious. If you'd like to see more of my book reviews, I'll have a link to my art book review playlist at the end of this video. If this is your first time to my channel and you're not quite sure what it's all about, then check out my playlist on how to monetize your hobby. You can find a link to it right here. Until next time, take care.